maybe? No. Okay, it's too close to the boss zone. Sometimes I get a floor spawn right before a boss fight. Well, at least I made it to the boss, considering that I lost my tokens, or I lost, what, 2 tokens? Or 1 token? Something like that. But anyway, at least this boss guy is not unstoppable. When it's unstoppable, I can't get my knockback from my uh this node right here. And fighting bosses, yes, my Havoc Orb is damaged when they do step on it. You see, my I'm casting the Havoc Orb. It's also to spend my rage because if you're not spending your rage, you're also wasting it. So until the boss reaches your mines, so to speak, then it's not gonna appear with damage. You know, it's just a heal or rage spender. So Havoc Orb is I could also play my Phantom Blades, but you see, if they get knocked back, you're actually wasting um like 0.2 seconds or 0.3 seconds when you can actually do another pistol shot at them. So if you're using the Phantom Blades, you don't actually want the knockback node too much because unless they're like really close to you, careful. Unless they're really close to you, Phantom Blades, you can only hit so many targets, and it's bad. Oh, come on. Like on the last swipe. Like that's just ridiculous. So yeah, you that that shows you why you should always save tokens for boss fights during pushes. Because now I have to play safe, but these guys should be okay. It's just really annoying that they spawn little guys to just mess up your time, delay your time. But I should be fine, so to speak. Uh like that was the one guy that you needed to take out. The big guy just now. So I finished this floor. I mean, you know, it's like whatever. It takes forever, but you get to see what your character could do, even though, yes, there is always the potential of getting one shot. But at least sometimes you get to see what your character could handle. Because if you're gonna be gearing, let's say all red or all purple gear, okay? At some point, aside from showing how fast you could do this game, you want to show like the point of gearing. It's kind of like, for example, when you play level 1, right? Okay, when you play a level 1, you're using light armor gear, and then as you go farther down into the game, you're going to be wearing medium armor and heavy armor and so on. And obviously, some games they even take weight into account, and then you move slower or you move faster depending on what kind of armor you choose. You're going to be wearing armor. You want to test out that armor you're wearing. And I'm not saying to like, oh, play higher content to get hit kind of thing. I'm just talking about the point of gearing. So sometimes do higher content. Not all the time though, because it's so boring. Dying over and over again is kind of like reset simulator. And then when you think about reset simulator, right? Here's the thing. Why people like to play faster. Why people choose to play games that have a shorter repetitive time or reiteration time. Why? Because you're doing the same thing over and over again anyway, first of all. So you want to save time and do more, right? Which means, for example, when you play RTS, if you know that you're good at Zergling Rush, and if you pull it off, you save yourself what, 30 minutes a game if you manage to get your 4 pull or 6 pull Zergling Rush. Or when you play a card game, half the time you see they're playing Zudex or whatever, like low cost stuff, and get you down. But once they don't get you down though, they're in trouble. They just need that one card or two cards in order to get you because they got you so low, right? So sometimes people choose to do that is also because they're time restricted. Like for example, if they have to go to work or if they want to play a game in between work or like right before work, they have like 2 hours to spare. So they want to get in maximum number of games before that. So yes, that's another reason to play into the fast uh gaming mentality. But then when you start gearing up though, you really have to like try at least one game to show your character's potential and also to actually learn how to dodge things. Whereas, you're just taking hit, you know, I mean, what's the point of getting 3k health or 4k health if you don't actually understand if there is at some point you're not going to get one shot. Like play the level that you're not going to get one shot. If you think that you're going to get one shot like a lot, okay, as a front person, then try a level at some point during gameplay, during the time of gaming, to do that particular level. If you're just gonna do like super super low level stuff like for like say 12 hours straight, I mean, you do get an upgrade and you can keep track of it, that's great. But if you can't, then also what's the point of upgrading? Like why upgrade when you're doing super low, right? You're finding an upgrade to do higher, which means at some point of the day after finishing your lower runs, you want to do one higher run, or vice versa. You want to start out with one higher and then the rest of the night lower, or you warm up with lower and then progress higher and higher as you go. Maybe not this high straight away, or maybe not this high at all because it's pointless. You just spend 1 hour doing one floor and you fail anyway. But yeah, this range is basically like a Sun Wukong wave of light. You basically cast ahead of you, keep them away from you. I mean, that's a ranged person's. Yeah. See, I max range and I couldn't see the crossbow and or the archer, and at this level, you gotta pay attention. And that's the other part, the pay attention part. See, I pressed my spacebar and I didn't get it. And another reason why I rip twice is because of this guy. He was getting too close, and I was paying too much attention to the front guy, and then I couldn't CC the other guy. So if you're doing lower content, then it's like you don't even get to see what the monsters are doing. But I'm gonna do lower content right after this. probably right now against this soul spawn, because this soul spawn would probably kill me if I don't kill it. See, when he goes down, then I use my Havoc Orb, and then I keep him from returning back to full health. And also, another thing to think about is when you know certain mob types, okay, like these guys that don't drop anything, okay, those tormentors. If you're playing a certain build and you know that you don't want to get hurt, okay, knowing the fact that people talk about getting one shot, right? But what if you don't get one shot? You want to show that your character is geared or stronger, right? So earlier I got hit by the Frost Tormentor because I was in range for him to hit me. If you know your range that you avoid getting hit, you know, then it's better because you're actually showing your character's potential. If you're just gonna get hit, okay, you may get one shot. You're only asking for it. You're asking for getting the one shot. And the only time you want to get hit is if you want to test how fast you drop in between not getting one shot, right? The Frost Tormentor just now, he casted his Frost spell on you that drains your life at like 1/3 at a time, and I went down to like 400 HP just now, something like that, before I healed back up with a cast of a Havoc Orb spent. So like when you do get when you do get the opportunity to not get one shot, you do want to get hurt sometimes to see if you can actually withstand hits as well. From being geared, from getting your resistance up and stuff, you want to see what you're resisting. Like, that's when you want to get hit. But when you do go risky, you're asking for it. You're asking for the one shot. It's kind of like the same thing in Diablo. If you overpull, right? If you overpull, you're asking for it. You're also delaying time. It's unless you're, using the one of the top skills, like let's say the Necro, right? You kill them at the last 18% life. So unless you're using that rune, you're not saving time. The more you pull, the more situation there is, unless you are able to CC them like a CM Wiz back in the day, Critical Mass Wizard, you're gonna be spending more time per group. And I know I'm going to a dead end, but I'm just trying to talk and finish. Ooh, I almost ripped there with that. Okay, say this, Doug. Here's another monster type that you need to be careful of. It's basically like doing the ancients in Diablo 2. That's basically a guy that's basically like ancient, like fighting ancients. The sadist thug is basically ancient, one of the barbarians. So like there is an aspect of quote unquote fun, like learning how to dodge things instead of like, oh, I'm gonna kill them straight away and he does nothing. So, oh, okay, I got. Like if you kill them instantly, how do you appreciate the game at some point? If you don't know, okay, so if you kill them too fast, also, you don't get to see what they're doing. So at some point, when you do go deeper and deeper into the greater rift, if you do not hit them down in one shot, will you ever learn how to avoid getting hurt when you do get the opportunity that they actually hurt you? Aside from, okay, watching videos and like look or watching the animation tutorial of each monster type, like some games they would feature a website that would show you, oh look, this monster has this rotation of skills. Yeah, but watching a video is not going to like represent your own character's gearing perspective and taking the hit. You're just assuming that those are the movements, what a monster could do. You're not accounting for your gameplay reaction. So sometimes just gearing up and then doing one higher content at one point, spending like half an hour to 1 hour doing higher, just to show what your character could do. But I'm just gonna do one run and then do lower for the rest. And then you also want to take the shortest path possible to the boss so that you actually save tokens for the boss fights. Ooh, I actually didn't get one shot by the soul spawn. That's weird. Okay, there we go. That's the one shot. All right, I'm down to one token left. So this run and rant should be over soon. Ooh, I dropped down to critical life there, and I healed back up with I didn't actually use a potion there. I actually used a havoc orb. Like when they step into my mind, I actually got lucky. Um, I should probably timestamp that to showcase that. Let me stand to a safer spot right now. I'm gonna timestamp that real quick. So like that part, I almost got one shot, but then it also had to show your reaction. The times that you don't get one shot, you know, to show your reaction or to show what your character could do with the gear that you got, aside from using potions, obviously. And even using potions, right? For example, the role of a Z monk, you get all this health glow bonus on your own. Okay, it does say health glow bonus and for the potions. So you have a potion. I mean, sure, you're gonna be a healer. You hope that you're not gonna get hit as a healer, right? And hopefully that you're healing yourself at the same time. Okay, but in the opportunity that you could make use of it, when you do press a potion, you hope that it heals you back to full, right? So you're only using half the feature of the health glow bonus line because the health glow bonus in Diablo 3 actually says that it also boosts from the 60% base heal. It will boost a little bit by bit above the 60%. the more you get health clip bonus. But yes, if you get primal gear, unless it rolled perfectly, you're not going to be able to touch the secondary stats. But if you're using regular ancient pieces, when you have the chance to have health clip bonus, if you're not a healer, uh, you gain more than 60%. You gain like 65% with, or whatever the percent is. It's not gonna be like 5% static. I didn't like go and do the math, but you can do the math. When you do get a health glow bonus, like one slot of health glow bonus, it when you press your potion, it actually gives you a little bit more, and that little bit more might be the difference. And that little bit more is the same as really just knowing that you're not gonna get one shot. At the time that you don't get one shot, the little bit more will save you some time. And it might save you in a reaction, and it might keep you just above par in the time that you react based on your muscle memory to save you from getting procced or whatever. Yeah. See, if I go too close, trying too hard to do the mark killing, then I get potential of getting shot by this guy. And then it I dodged that. Well, the character dodged that. But like I also make a mess of the situation, and then it looks even more stupid. Like I could handle that without running around, aside from the dodging the crossbow, right? Like even to do the mark of impurity, okay, you have to make sure that they're in distance with each other positionally, because you have to make sure that the spread works. So it doesn't just mean that you mark something, you save time. You might actually spend more time because you have to position them. Unless you're playing a character that you CC them, you mark them, and you instantly kill the guy that you marked, depending on the health it's at, or you mark them later. So I could be shooting it down first, down to like say like a third, and then mark it, and then wait, and then try to shoot it. But then when you do that though, there's another issue here: body blocking. So now I successfully pulled it off, and then you saw the damage that it does, right? But some other monster might body block the guy that you just targeted, and then you will look stupid too. So it doesn't just mean that you should go in and mark things. It really doesn't. It just looks better that you know what you're doing by being afar, and I have the node that says that. The point of having this node safe from afar, you know, and that's, see, I didn't get one shot there. I mean, I didn't heal myself faster, but I wanted to show the times when you don't get one shot. That was 87 health. 104, 35. 87 HP after getting hit by an archer. Level 40, level 49 archer. So that was 87 health. That was not a one shot. Okay. I mean, it is lucky that I didn't get one shot. I'm not trying to say that my character doesn't die from a one shot. I'm talking about the times that you do not get one shot, how you handle the situation based on your gearing. So when you do get one shot, you have no chance for making use of this envoy of war most of the time, right? Like the only two lines that help you is the last three and the base stats of an item. So yes, putting on a piece of shoulder and maybe the last three lines, depending on whether the 4 second rage conservation time is even giving its true potential. But you're really only using the 11% attacks damage, right? So the times that you do get hurt, so let's say you don't get hurt in the lower tier, in the lower runs. If you don't get hurt at all, then you should probably just use another pair of shoulders. And that's where the armory comes in, right? In Diablo 3, the fact that you're doing lower stuff means that you should just use other things. And in the lower stuff, they die so fast, you don't need to have max potential of damage, right? I mean, that's the logic behind it. And also, you get to watch what each monster does. For people who want to, for people who are like, who are not as good as you, okay, for people who are not as good as you, when they watch you, one thing they want to watch is how well you can take a hit if you don't get one shot. What is the fun of a game? What did they do as a developer? For example, a game developer, you take the time to what? Design a monster. How does the monster do? At some point, you want to see what a monster could do. And uh, speaking of that part, like I like I've mentioned before. Okay, see, I could have tried to explode, but then it didn't wasn't in range. Apparently, it wasn't in range for the Frost Tormentor. So even triggering the mark may not actually save you time at all. In the end, I'm just spending just as much time. You're hoping to quote unquote rely on the mark to speed the game's process up, but then when it fails, even though you think that it shouldn't have failed, okay, in the times when it shouldn't have failed on you, then you're still going to spend that time dodging and shooting it down. So you might as well just preemptively play ahead of the game and just take out the main target that you're targeting, like this guy, to prevent getting crossbow hits. And then you don't have to dodge anything. You just stand there and show that you can actually stand still instead of moving around, right? The more you move around, it also shows how weak you are. And I'm talking about moving around during a fight. So then why are you looking like you're so geared, but you're moving around a lot, right? And I don't mean like teleporting, moving around. If teleporting gives you damage or gives you a CC, kind of like the Calamity rune in Diablo 3, then that works. But when I'm talking about moving around, that you can't do any CC or can't do any damage, then you're wasting time. You have so much damage, you could be doing dealing damage. And the other part that I was getting at was that uh, a lot of people love higher damage weapons. So say a two-hander weapon. I mean, obviously in this game, two-handed weapon is too slow to do much damage, right? For a melee. I mean, it's really strong. Like whenever you use a two-handed weapon in other games, or in most games, it will say what will it say? It would say like let's just give it a number. Two-handed weapon, 600 damage to 900 damage. So if you get a crit or if you get a high RNG roll on that weapon and you fight a monster, so let's say the monster health is 1,200. So people love two-handed weapons, right? Because you have the potential to deal 900 damage without the crit to almost take it down in one hit. But it also takes you kind of knowing whether you hit first of all, the chance to hit, right? Depending on the monster level. I'm not even talking about the attack speed of a two-hander. I'm talking about the chance to hit as well. You have to account the chance to hit part if it's in the game, right? If it's in the game saying the chance to hit. And for each monster level, here's another thing. If this game had the chance to hit issue, then I will definitely not be playing this push because chances are at level 20, I'm going to be missing. It's gonna I'm like every shot that I'm doing, half the shots, even at max distance, by the time they reach me, it would say miss, 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 miss. If there's chance to hit in this game, and I miss all the time, then yes, I am wasting time in this game doing this higher level content all the time. If I'm doing it all the time, and it's and if it says chance to hit is a miss, like instead of showing me a crit number 3,200 something or whatever X number, if it says miss, 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 then yes, you are wasting time because you're not gonna get him. But the fact that there's no chance to miss at the moment, you know, in this game, you should try to see where your character is at. And then it also comes down to another thing. Um, I mean, solo is boring, but when you play in groups, there's a lot of different factors. You know, obviously you want to practice because in duo, you might be the one dealing damage. And if you don't recognize what your potential is, then you're relying on him. And then it ends up being a role-based game, which there is an element of that. But then you're also just hoping that he carries you, right? So aside from doing lower just to gear yourself up, in groups, you want to show your own or pull your own weight at some point as well. I'm not trying to say that my character is pulling my own weight, because if I do even higher content, this is not even higher content. I have a lot of friends that unlocked Champion 4, and that's floor, what, 31? Oh, wait, no, it's 61, so it's 41. Floor 41. So they've done all the way to floor 41, you know? So I haven't. I haven't done to floor 41. I want to, at some point, obviously I won't get to do it, but imagine if the chance to miss came up, right? Then there's actually going to be people who won't be able to get to floor 61. Chance to miss. The fact that this game doesn't have the chance to miss gives you slightly value in trying out at some point what your character could do. Floor spawn, maybe? Okay. If it was totally empty, then chances are there is a floor spawn. Ooh, another fight with a thug. Will I make it? I only have one token left. The more distractions I have, the more I won't make it. Yes, I saw the jump. Ooh, kite shield. Will it be 3 sockets? Or any socket at all? 3 sockets! Ooh. And it's a level 49. I mean, not that it matters because you're capped out, but when you actually try to push and you get a chance of a drop, it at least will show that you actually attempted a floor, right? Ooh, there's a socket on this. Aw, it's missing crit hit damage or material damage. But 3 socket kite shield. That's cool. I've not gotten a 3 socket kite shield myself. The block chance is really low though. I mean, it does say plus 14% at the bottom, so um, good question. I haven't used shields a lot lately. Uh, does the block chance is it already added or is it additional? I mean, technically it's additional because it's at the bottom stat, but then sometimes in some games they already add it to the top anyway. I haven't used kite shields myself because I rarely I mean, I've seen them drop as rares, but I never use them. 119. 3OS kite shield. 429 from a thug. All right, let's see. Oh, I still have more monsters. just imagine if I had chance to miss, I wouldn't be doing anything at this high level. But it was fun to get a kite shield. I'm gonna keep it somewhere. Uh, keeping items. I don't have room to keep items, man. Especially when my stash has issues. Okay, what did I get? Soul Spawn, Frost Tormentor, and Mech. Okay, so the Tormentor is unstoppable. I don't really care about that. I really care about the Soul Spawn though. So I have one token to do this. We'll find out. This will take forever though. Or maybe he can kill me right away. If I don't keep distance or somehow, I won't be able to do any damage. See, when they do actually step into your minds, that's when you do damage. But you have to spend your rage every so often. Almost got it down, right? Yeah, got it down. The next one is going to be difficult though. That wasn't even the difficult one. I mean, it is the main guy that you need to kill, but the more difficult one comes next. It's the soul spawn. I know I checked the two items just now. I just get obsessed when I see the Vembracer, because that's the type that I'm using. I have another pair here that I kept that are pretty good rolls. So now I have to fight the soul spawn. Well, wish me luck. Oh, I actually pulled this guy alone. Oh, that's great. Somewhat. Wow, I almost made a mistake there. If I got stuck walking, I mean, if I got stuck just like by that spot, that was pretty terrible. Yeah, I can't knock him back because of unstoppable. All right, one more to go. This is the scary part. I mean, aside from the fact that I scared myself walking into that spot right there. This part is actually scary because soul spawns are like winged assassins, and it's not pretty. Yes, I actually had my one token, and I actually got it done. One token got down to floor 30. Well, I mean, you know, sometimes you know, train yourself to handle certain situations. It got stupid just now with the positioning against that Frost Tormentor, but otherwise, it's cool when you actually get to see something, difficult and how you handle the situation of the mech. Whew, that Frost Spear. Oh man, he revived. Yeah, I couldn't handle that. Yeah, I'm gonna find room to keep that kite shield. I mean, if this strategy works for me, why not do it, right? Also, in the lower content, I want to tell you something about the mech. When you do not actually, when you do not get to kill the mech fast, he'll spawn lots of those little guys, and those little guys get you. Did you even see a spawn? Well, there might have been one spawn of those little guys from the mech boss, but that was it. Normally, you get flooded by the mech boss with these primordial armor guys. But during that fight, there was probably only one, if any. So there is a strategy to not let them waste your time as well. And also, when they fall to the ground, it's also going to show what your damage potential is. It's like a DPS test, DPS check. If they come back up, chances are you either just got lazy or you didn't use more spells or skills. If they pop back up, that just means you lack damage or you didn't um you don't have the rate to clear, which I don't have the rate to clear because I barely clear those armored guys on the other floor. The armored guys always pop back up to nearly 1 million health. I wonder which way would I go. Probably not this way. Yep, it's the other way because that was a circular dead end. Ah, I was hoping for clean. This is gonna hurt. south direction is so. Ah, come on. South south direction is just so annoying. Like basically I could have had a clean, well, decent clean run, and then they had to give me a south version. I know there's a mech on the other side. Gonna try to avoid needing to fight that. Southway is stupid, man. Losing life just because of the south direction. 7,000 something crit there on the primordial. I just want to get out of this south facing BS. Come on! This south-facing thing is very annoying. I basically just lost all my lives to the south direction. Nothing else. Can't see anything. There's still extra monsters. I pressed my spacebar. Oh well, whatever. I lost all my lives to south. All right. Anyway, I think I want to export this as a highlight overall, and I will yeah, I will definitely make this highlights ASAP. I think it's really crucial and important to do so. As far as just gameplay, game testing, and whatnot. I got to floor 30 again, and I lost all my tokens to the south direction.